My name is Sakya. I'm the Talent Development and Special Projects Director at CAAM. The CAAM Fellowship program started in 2019. It's based on a previous program that we had that was co-directed by producer Chien. I think instilled in our programming this ethos of community support. In this current fellowship program, that was specifically for the Asian American documentary filmmaking community. We wanted to carry that ethos through as well.
It's such a pleasure to see how the fellowship has grown and evolved. I was a mentor the very first year of this fellowship, and in fact, I was a director of the fellowship in an earlier iteration, one that we started about 12 to 15 years ago. It was a time when we started to see Asian American veteran professionals across all fields and all roles throughout the industry. And we saw that as an opportunity to create mentoring to generate Asian American presence in the industry.
I think that community is everything. I think that we have to have community, and we have to have deep relationships to be able to survive in this business. And I think particularly for those of us who come from traditionally underrepresented communities, communities with cultural specificities, particularly around ideas of making art for a living, to be able to come together with folks who feel like they're on the same page with you on all of those aspects, and really be able to share not just about the work and the expertise, but about the human experience that it is to go through this, and to reassure each other that we all feel, these same things, was really profoundly humbling and instructive for me as well.
Documentary filmmaking requires a lot of patience, a lot of compassion, a lot of listening. So I was able to draw on those practices to create space for my cohort and other API filmmakers over the past fellowship year.
They experienced the film festival and the Filmmakers Summit, which is where a lot of the Asian American documentary filmmakers convene yearly at CAAM Fest. We also, in 2019, had our Ready, Set, Pitch, the pitch opportunity for the fellowship cohort at CAAM Fest in person. And that was a lovely sort of warm reception for the fellowship inaugural year by the community. We had the pandemic in 2020. And so we really had to pivot, like many people did. And it became an all virtual year. That's really when we started doing monthly cohort virtual conversations, and it was not only necessary for us, but really important for that cohort at that time to be able to be supportive.
My mentor, Marjan Safinia, is gutsy and brave and not afraid to speak her truth. My time with her was not just about getting my film off the ground, but about building confidence to fill boss women's shoes. And in my toughest moments now, all I have to do is summon my inner Marjan, my inner boss woman, my inner strength, maybe a couple of F-bombs, and I'm not afraid to take on whatever the challenge is.
Having Namfu as my mentor meant so much to me because I was starting my first film, Liquor Store Dreams. Just having that relationship, transparency, just knowledge that I feel like so often is usually gatekept or things like that within the industry. It was seamless. It wasn't there. Like, I think that the accessibility of language, just information was so readily available, and she was so willing to help me grow in my vision and my story and just anything that I needed, that I really, really needed that. And CAAM was such a great support, especially the entire staff.
Since 2021, the Ready, Set, Pitch has been a virtual opportunity, which is a great sort of best of both worlds type situation, because you're still able to practice your pitch as a fellow, and at the same time we're able to have access to jury members from funding organizations like the Ford Foundation or the Sundance Institute and others who might not be able to travel in person, but are more likely to join us virtually. So that's been wonderful and a huge, I think, evolution of the program. In the last couple of years since we've been able to come back in person, We've really bolstered the Filmmakers Summit experience for our fellows with panel experiences, and the pitch opportunity remains a really pivotal part of the fellowship program.
CAAM was the first organization in the world of filmmaking. It was the first national organization to support my project, My American. And ever since I've had that support, it's just snowballed. Soon after I got the CAAM Fellowship, I got funding from the Sundance Institute Documentary Film Fund. I got support from BAVAC and ADOC and the California Film Institute. It's just been amazing.
I feel like I have CAAM as an organization has my back, and it's an incredible feeling. And I know they do because they've shown it through their actions.
And perhaps the environment which CAAM has created, which allowed us to get kind of really deep beyond just the details of the films, the proposals, the pitch samples, to a much more profound and vulnerable, connected space as fellow travelers in this insane business of documentary.
I think the value add, of course, in any fellowship mentorship program is your own journey and, whatever you deem success to be, whether it's moving your project forward or finding new opportunities in your career. I really hope that the fellowship program can continue to evolve and give back. I hope that we can continue to keep that intact and to be able to build on the program and perhaps create offshoots of the program so that we're able to target precisely, for example, there's a need for development support, let's say, for a project or for folks that are just starting out in their careers, and being able to create this sort of community-focused model, labs, fellowship opportunities for more people in a more precise way.